Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to TC Talks Length. It's not a subdivision of our usual TC Talks podcast. It is a normal podcast episode. And I am joined by some friendly faces and Jason.
You're talking length, are you, Stu?
Yeah, I'm talking length.
Was it only a short episode then for you, yeah?
Well, that's why I left the starting soon screen on for a bit longer. As everybody knows, Jace, it's not about the size of it, it's about the quality of the graphics.
It is.
And
ray tracing.
Well, and ray tracing, yeah. Poor old Ray. As you can see, I've got, obviously, him next to me, my number 2, which is apt because he's just a shit.
Lemma.
Whatever. And then down below me, we have the website queen, I guess we can call her.
Yeah, that's right.
R has joined us, and then down in the bottom corner we've got Aaron for another episode. So today we are talking length, but as per usual, let's go through the nice little welcome part of the podcast. There's a nice little animation there coming up on the screen.
Oh, you didn't have, but you did. So
Zen
thank you.
Zen has hosted our stream with one viewer. He's bringing his Raiders in legend.
Do it very nice.
So, what we usually do, and I think Aaron's had experience of this. I don't think Jace, and definitely not R, sees that this is her first time actually on the podcast.
Hence the wild look.
Yeah. It's been a bit of a rushed one. We've had people dropping out at the last minute and things like that. But well, Stu, get better soon. We do one good and one bad thing about your week. So, because Aaron has experience of this before, Aaron, you may go first.
One good thing about my week so far, I finally got about halfway through Valhalla. It's probably about the best thing.
Excellent.
And the bad thing, the missus started work on Monday.
There we go. One good, one bad. Nice and easy. Yeah, what do you think? Yeah, I think it's nice and easy. Jason, one good, one bad?
I finally completed Red Dead Redemption 2 story.
Okay, is that good or bad though?
That's a good thing because it's been niggling me for a long time. Finally made that final push. One bad thing, I've now got to find something else to play.
I mean, I can find you something to play if you need something to play.
Don't always like your choices. Blair Witch.
I mean, you enjoyed it. Apparently, I don't know. No, I've got a couple of emails come through this evening, so maybe I'll slide into your email inbox.
It's sliding nowhere.
This is true. And then down into R. One good, one bad. Let's go.
Oh God, I hate it when you put me on the spot. One good thing I think I'd say has been Warcraft bringing out the Shadowlands expansion. And one bad thing is that I haven't actually had time to play it yet. So that's a bit bad. There you go.
There we go. So my one good, one bad. One good, everybody started receiving their Christmas gifts, which was a good thing. And one bad, I bought everyone Christmas gifts. No, I've purchased Cyberpunk, and that's all ready to download on the 8th. I think it auto downloads. So I'm going to try and get into a bit of Cyberpunk when it gets released. Looks interesting. Looks really good from the things. And one bad thing is, oh my God, it was Baltic this morning.
Oh, it was freezing.
My van froze on the inside.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's probably just the van rather than it being so cold, but yep, it froze on the inside. So there we go. So moving swiftly on, we shall look at some news. So our usual news guy obviously is not here this week and is unfortunately replaced with Jason. So we ain't going to get any news from him.
No.
But a couple of things that I have spotted in the news today is Microsoft Flight Simulator VR has got a launch date, which could be amazing. Late December is coming to the Oculus and Valve devices, but no news about the standalone VR stuff yet.
Does it come with sick bags?
I think it should do. It's probably in the deluxe edition.
You saw my flying, didn't you?
I did. Oh, I did. And
747
in the chat did.
Mount Fuji. Poor Mount Fuji.
Yeah. It was interesting to say the least. Especially when where were we? We were Tokyo, weren't we? Just flying over the top of Tokyo, and I'm in this little like Cessna flying around, and I do this bank turn, come this way, and Jason in this 747 effectively just goes straight over me, and it was It was a
good.
bit
Like Rise of the Valkyries was blaring out. Dun 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 dun. I was proper going for you. I forget it's a simulator game. I've got no guns or anything, but
yeah. I mean, you can, you make the sounds, but that's it. Apparently, other news: people are using the Xbox Series X and S to emulate PlayStation 2 games, which is
ever possible.
Well, it's apparently all to do with the dev mode on the Xbox consoles. So you turn on dev mode and you can install like third-party bits and pieces and stuff like that. So it's it's a bit of a kick in the teeth to Sony, who turned around and said, well, no, we're not going to give you backwards compatibility of our PlayStation 2 and 3 library. But Xbox can. So if you want to play any of the original God of War games, get yourself an Xbox Series X. What else have we got? Nintendo Switch update came out today, which allows you to transfer your screenshots to a smartphone. Which I think
downloaded.
Yeah, which I think is one of the new PlayStation app is great, but that's one of the only downsides. So the Xbox, if you take a screenshot and you've got it linked to your phone, you can actually then access all of your captures through the phone app. But you can also go online and do it, which is really, really cool, and is great for sharing online, because the PlayStation only allows you to share directly to Twitter now, because they've taken off Facebook, which is a bit rubbish. I don't know what's gone on there. There's obviously some rights deal fallen through. But the Xbox allows you to do it, and that's the only thing the Sony one doesn't do. And now Nintendo allow you to transfer your screenshots. So it's a good thing for Switch owners. It's a really bad thing for PlayStation owners, because now they're being left behind. It'd
be nice to have a feature like that. Like say, life's so much easier.
What's the point of having screenshots if you can't share them?
Exactly.
Well, this is it. I mean, you can share them on Twitter, but sometimes you want to share them on Instagram. So you end up, because what I used to do is I used to share my screenshots to Facebook, but share them privately so that only I could see them. Then download them from Facebook, and then put them wherever I wanted to go and things like that. And now you can't do that, because you can't send a private tweet.
No, if you send straight away. Yeah,
exactly. It's just a bit pat. Sharing to Twitter is annoying. It is. And it really is, Bri. So it's a little bit frustrating, the fact that there's no real other option to do it. You can plug in an external hard drive and copy them to the external hard drive and then put them into the computer and stuff. Yeah, that's the face I make every single time. Every single time.
It's an effort. I'm not going to do it. Like, it shouldn't be that much of a difficult thing to integrate into something like a console.
No, exactly. It shouldn't be. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. In terms of news, that's really the majority of stuff that I have seen that we've flagged in the TC Discord today.
What about Very?
What about Very? Cancelling over 1,000 pre-orders?
Yeah, does that mean they've got 1,000 now to go out? Because I'm going to keep on pressing refresh otherwise.
That's not really been made clear, has it? They cancelled them all because of the scalpers and stuff like that, but there's got to be some real there's got to be some real pre-orders in there.
They can't guarantee the scalpers, can they?
No, that's it. And it's a difficult one, because you would think then, they've got to have a waiting list, right? of people who have like signed up to be notified, but they can't. It's not like Bada Bada Boom in the chat who's in his queue for getting his graphics card. You're not going to pay for your PlayStation 5 and then wait in a queue to receive it. So yeah, surely 1,000 consoles will be up for pre-order. You know, they'll probably sell
stop them again.
Well, I think, you know, Curry's did a really good way of stopping the scalpers and stuff. When all the pre-orders were up, they basically inflated the prices to like 2,000. They basically added a 2 on front of the thing, but when you pre-ordered it, you got a voucher for £2,000 effectively. So that you got a code that you entered in, and it basically brought it down to the RRP, which to me is a great way of doing it. But I don't think Very will do that. Very will probably just release them and scalpers will buy them up again.
Would it be ironic if Very take them back off the scalpers and then sell them for double the price because they know they're in demand?
Yeah, probably sold them to Computer Exchange. That's probably why they've taken them down. Computer Exchange have now all of a sudden got 1,005 PlayStation 5s. But I don't know if you've seen the prices that Computer Exchange are offering to buy them for.
I saw CEX's ones for was it Xbox, wasn't it? You could make £100 on every one.
Oh, it's horrendous. I'm trying to see. So a PlayStation 5 at this moment, if you wanted to sell the disc version of the console, Computer Exchange will give you in a voucher. Where's it gone? I think I've just scrolled past it and it's just deleted itself. There it is. They will pay you £650 in a voucher or cash, and they're selling them at £815.
Wow,
that's crazy. That
is insane. I want to scroll down and see if I can find the digital one whilst we are. So it's the wonderful thing about the TC Talks podcast is everything is live. So, you know, talk amongst yourselves for a minute.
So if you go and buy 3 PlayStations, sell 2 to CEX, and then you got 1 free.
I wouldn't know.
Effectively.
It would be nice.
That would be good, wouldn't it, if you could do that?
Just getting hold of the actual cost.
Yeah.
All the scalpers have already took them.
Yeah, you have to buy them at thingy. So the digital version, you can... in fairness, they're selling them at the RRP. They're selling them at 360 for the digital version.
Is that on the Xboxes? Yeah.
Let's have a look whilst we're here. I just find it ridiculous, and the problem is Computer Exchange. They obviously sell things at retail values and stuff. So here we go. Xbox Series X, they will buy them off you for £550, and they sell them at £690.
Amazing.
It's ridiculous, really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
But people are losing their minds out there. Like, I'm on a load of Facebook groups as well, and people are literally losing their minds about getting a console and stuff like that. And you know, when you're just a bit like, I know I've got one, and you see all these people on Facebook posting like stuff to groups going, oh yeah, I'm happy with my PlayStation 4, you know, I'm gonna wait to get a PlayStation 5, you know, until they're available in the shops. Basically, they're the people that missed out on the pre-orders, but they're justifying it themselves.
I'm sat here in Poverty Corner now.
And then you try and play a game with Stuart on his PS5, and he's loaded into the level 20 seconds before you, run off, left you for dead, and you go, where are you, Jace? Where are you, Jace? Have you not loaded in yet? Oh, have you got that trophy we got a minute ago? Oh yeah, it's just finally come up on my screen. It's amazing, actually, the difference. But I digress.
You don't digress. You're upset.
Not upset
so,
at all.
You know, and I'm you know, the next gen of consoles, they're great, but yeah, if I didn't manage to get a pre-order, I'm not going to lose mine. Yeah, I won't lose my mind over it.
I nearly did, because I didn't get mine on day one.
Yeah, you were like F5. Your F5 button on your keyboard is like wrecked.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. But, you know, it is, you know, it's nuts, really, the whole thing that's gone on with these next-gen consoles. And you You wouldn't see it anywhere else. Like that group that bought 3,500 PS5s or something stupid. You know, it just makes you sick. You know, and you know, there's me playing on my PlayStation 5, and it's like, you know, just wait, people. Jace, just wait.
Yeah, because there's nothing that I don't know. There's nothing different really at the moment.
Shut up, Aaron.
That makes the PlayStation 5 go.
Where's the mute button? Where's the mute button? Oh, wait. Have you not played Spider-Man?
Yeah, like all right. The graphics are better, but there's nothing
Frame
that
rate's
can
better,
make you go
cooling's
wow,
better.
wow.
It doesn't sound like a jet engine every time you play a game.
Our PS4's still quiet.
Adaptive triggers on the controller are amazing. The haptic
The
feedback's
controller,
great.
yes, the console. All right, okay.
So there's nothing that's great about it apart from everything. Is that what you're saying, Aaron?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Just for the record, Aaron's drinking vegan juice.
I am.
I'm not really sure what
It's
makes it
true.
vegan.
I was gonna say,
No.
isn't all juice vegan?
I
think so.
thought it
Unless
was.
he's like got, you know,
Unless it's made of
meat.
pigs and cow. Yeah. What flavour is it? Is it like bacon and cranberry Christmas juice or something?
Summer berries juice.
Summer berries.
Yes, apples, raspberries, strawberries, and blackcurrants.
Ah, so strawberries. But yeah, Jace, has your trophy popped yet?
Still waiting.
Ah, still waiting. So Fortnite Season 5 has started up. Apparently there's a live event going on, isn't there?
Certainly is. The missus has just watched it.
Is it any good?
Was it any good? I think it was. My son was there watching, so he seems to enjoy it.
This reminds me of that bloody Sky Sports thing. Cammy, someone's been sent off. Have they?
Well, apparently Fortnite crashed Twitch, according to people on Twitter.
I thought they were bringing on a sub, Jeff.
Oh no, I seen him go off. I didn't even know he got a red card.
Yeah, so apparently Twitch has crashed because that many people are trying to view the Fortnite live event. So,
Well, we're still
that's good.
live.
anyway, yeah, we're still.
It's good. It's still got the old following going on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I dipped back into it the other day, and it was actually relatively fun. Played 2 games, got 12 kills in total. So, you know,
I like Fortnite, I think it does get a bit of a hard rap. There's some good reasons, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it the way a lot of people like seem
I don't like it.
They hate it. They like make an art form out of things, crap. But actually, if you don't take it that seriously, it's all right. It's when people take it so seriously.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
Nathan in the chat hates it.
My kids literally fought like to the death. It was like Thunderdome upstairs in the bedroom. I tell you, we Fortnite when that first came out. It started off nice and all playful, and then it was the V-Bucks, and then it was like, oh, can I have this for my birthday, and can I have this? And next thing you know, they bought skins, and
Yeah, that just made it.
yeah, they made a killing out of it.
I don't do anything. I just do the free stuff. But like, I suppose it depends on how competitive you are and how much you get into it, and like how much time you invest into it as well. Because like, I just don't have enough time in my life to put those kind of hours into Fortnite. But a lot of people just literally live on the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like building. I can do a ramp and one of those, and then if needs be, I can put one of them up. That's it.
I don't even build. I just COD it. Die very quickly.
I quite like the stuff. Like I quite like the PvE aspect of it. I know it was for everyone, but I quite like having a campaign to like go and you can build base and all the rest of it. I thought that was quite.
So to save the world.
Yeah, I quite liked that. I thought it was quite good, but like if it was more of a chilled version, but then in the battle royale and you're doing all the competitive stuff, you know, it is massively popular with like more competitive types, let's say. So it does get like really aggy. Like people get really aggressive about it, and I'm just like.
So the kids at my football are exactly the same. They all start playing football, and then when they get into an argument, it turns into Fortnite, and then they start arguing over Fortnite for no reason.
Oh, yeah.
Did they go like, "I'll 1v1 you in creative"?
Yeah, come on then, let's 1v1, bro.
At least you know they're in their bedrooms and they're not up to no good.
That's true.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I mean, Fortnite is massive, and it forever will be.
No, I think it's got a shelf
Probably
life.
will.
I think there's been a bit of a drop off, hasn't there, with these, like, with the chapter 2 or whatever it's called. Like,
Yeah.
the latest bit. I think there has been a bit of fall off with people. And there does seem to be, like, the more I read, like, on Twitter and stuff, there seems to be more people getting, like, dissatisfied with it and kind of just thinking, oh yeah, the game, not what it used to be. But I mean, surely that's just the longevity of any kind of game, really, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
You always stay with it. I think it's going to dip and peak a little bit. I think it definitely has gone through a dip in the last 18 months, which is odd considering we've all been indoors. But I do think that there's been a bit of a dip in its popularity.
There's been more battle royales though, isn't there, coming out? It's been flooded.
There's a lot of new ones. And...
Yeah. I think that is the and obviously Worms Rumble today is the latest of the battle royales to be released.
Should be interesting.
Which is fun.
That's on PS Plus, isn't it? For
It
free.
is, yeah, for free, yeah. Even for the old PlayStation 4 owners.
I know.
I still
Yeah,
would be.
it's not. Actually, I don't know if it is. Is it on PlayStation 4?
Oh, shut up! I
I'm
haven't checked.
not sure. I think it is only the PlayStation 5
No,
game.
Don't you dare!
Tappy 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 tap tappy tappy tap. Oh, Brian, shh.
Oh, it
Brian.
is. That Worms. Okay.
It is.
Brian
Good.
spoils it.
Thanks, Brian. I haven't got the thing open, so yeah, good.
But yeah, so I think really we should move on to the thing that everybody has come to hear and talk about.
Time for features.
And that is length. Today, let me get a little bit closer. The thumb culture.
Arm's length, please. Arm's
Come
length.
on. Bit of
Arm's
Marvin
length.
Gaye.
Let's get it on. So we're going to talk about length.
Oh,
Game
man, that was
length
like Simpsons, that
specifically.
was.
What?
I can't even say titmouse without laughing.
Oh dear. So yeah, so we're going to talk about game length and where it sits within the industry. What is the perfect game length? That kind of discussions. So let's go around the table. Let's go to Jason first. What's your thoughts on length?
My thoughts on length.
Game length.
Well, to be honest, I can go to two extremes here. So you got Red Dead Redemption, which I've done in like 45 hours.
10 without loading times.
Shut up. And then I've got a point-and-click game that I completed recently, Willie Morgan and the Curse of Bonetown. Talking about length, brilliant. And that one was 4.5 hours. And I've got to say, I was quite engrossed with the Willie Morgan one. Really great game, really good puzzles, but over too quickly, I'd say. I was just getting into the game when it ended.
Story of your life, really, isn't it?
Always the way.
Yeah, but then when I look back at games, it's not necessarily how long the game is; it's the journey that it's taking you through.
Yeah.
That's how I think. Like GTA
Yeah.
5, when I completed that, like when you look back at it and how many different missions you did, how many different settings you did, how many different challenges you did all along that way, how many times you got stuck, restarted it, persevered, and and I find it as well when a new game comes out. If you've got other mates that have got that game, it's almost like a competition to like, oh, what chapter are you on? And you just keep on going and going until obviously one of you finishes it, and then it kind of diminishes, doesn't it? But
Yeah.
I don't know. As long as it's not a crap storyline, I think it could be as long as it wants, really.
Yeah, I think like you say there, it's all about the engrossment. If that's
Yeah.
such a word.
Engrossment, the journey, yeah.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on length?
Well, how long have you got? No, I think it depends.
About 20 minutes.
All right, I won't ramble too much. But it's like you say, there's certain types of games which are designed, I think, specifically with length and longevity in mind. And so, for example, a game like Skyrim, which I've been playing since 2011. So you think, the thick end of a decade on one game, because it's designed for longevity. It's the kind of thing that you can just dip in and out of, and it's got that immersiveness. Whereas you've got other games which are more pick up and put them down, and they're not really. A lot of it's down to the narrative elements of the game themselves, and whether or not it's got enough story and enough sort of side content as well to keep you hooked in for any kind of decent length of time. So I think it's one of those things that's it's relative to the game essentially. But then you could also argue that about a battle royale, for example. Even though it's like repetitive in nature, like it's instinctively like just the same thing over and over again. It depends on the kind of player that you are. If that's the kind of thing that you are naturally drawn to, you're going to be quite happy putting hours and hours and hours of your time into it. And it's the kind of thing that just never ends, whether that's like a good thing or not. But yeah, I just think it does massively depend on the storyline and the design of the game, really, and the mechanics and what it's actually the intended purpose of the game. If it's just intended to be like a pick up and put down, fair enough. You'll be able to tell that, and probably that'll be reflected in the amount of time you spend playing it. But if it is something with like a really kind of expansive story and a whole universe behind it, then I think naturally you are going to gravitate towards spending months, if not years, dipping in and out of that thing. So something like Red Dead or whatever, or Skyrim, for example, is a perfect kind of example of that. So yeah, I think it depends. I think you've got to give different types of games a try to get a feel for how long you want to spend on it. I think you instinctively know when you pick something up, oh, I could spend hours on this, or yeah, no, this isn't for me. So it just depends on the kind of gamer you are, and it depends on the type of game it is as well.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Bada Bada Boom in the chat has put sometimes short and sweet is more memorable. You'll remember it and savour it more. Stuff like Journey, Firewatch, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture did well for a reason. Are still some of his favourites. Aaron, what's your thoughts on length, buddy?
I really like long games. As long as the story's good enough to keep you immersed in the fictional world, like Assassin's Creed, that'll keep me going forever. I'm not really a fan of short games. I don't find myself getting hooked easy on a short game. If it's over too quick, I find myself wanting more, and I think that's where, like a Call of Duty, the story isn't that long, and then you've got the online part to play. So I think that's what gives them kind of games a longevity of, in a way. But I prefer a story-based game like Assassin's Creed myself.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So the real question is, Aaron, do you read books?
Sometimes.
Do you read books?
Yeah.
Jason, do you read books?
Hardly ever, but if I do, I read those ones with really short chapters. So I literally complete a chapter by reading 2 pages.
See, I think it comes down to your mentality as well. Like what you were saying, and to be fair, what you were saying about Skyrim is it's something you can dip in and out of. See, I can read a book, but it has to be really enthralling. Like, I think one of the only books that I've read all the way through was Ready Player One. A fantastic book. And I'm kind of the same when it comes to video games. I always prefer shorter movie kind of length. I'm more of a movie kind of person. I'd rather watch a 2-hour movie than read a 10-hour book. And likewise, I'd rather play an 8-hour video game than a 40 to 50-hour video game. So, like, I've had my PlayStation 5, 2 weeks?
Can't remember. I'm possibly remember you saying.
And for those people that know me, I never complete video games. Never complete video games. And I've completed 2 in terms of the story. I've completed 2 since having my PlayStation 5, and that's Call of Duty and Miles Morales, the new Spider-Man. And they're short and sweet. I mean, I think it took me about around 8 hours to finish the story on both. And they're great. And yeah, I'm not one to, I'm usually a multiplayer gamer. It has to be a really good story. Like Watch Dogs has got me enthralled at the moment. And I know that's like longer and what have you, but I am a dip in and out kind of person, which is why I'm hoping Cyberpunk, because it's kind of like the genre and stuff that I enjoy. I'm hoping that kind of has enough to keep you going from one thing to another. And everything I've read about the game sort of aims towards that. When you're going to say something, Jess?
It is down to lifestyle, though, I think, as well, because I always get the whole, I want to go online, what shall I play tonight? I'll tell you what, I haven't played Uncharted before, so let's play that. And like you say, it either hooks you in or doesn't. But as soon as some friend comes online or someone messages you and goes, oh, what are you doing tonight? Do you want to play this online? I always choose the online over the single player.
You're always texting me. saying you're coming online.
It's
right?
actually me. It's me always messaging you.
Yeah. Do you send them like to yourself?
I do. Yeah. Which place do I jump to Uncharted to go with you? Go on.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's it as well. Is time that you can put to gaming as well. Like you, Jace. I'm a social gamer. There, I've said it. I like to play games with people, mentally as well. And I like that social aspect of gaming. You don't get that a lot with stories. Now, yeah, you could sit in a chat party with people and have a chat whilst you're playing the game, but then you're not getting immersed in like a big story. Like I'm sure, if you're playing Skyrim, you don't want to be sat listening to someone jabber on about.
I think it depends it's like I was saying, it depends what your motivation for gaming is and what kind of a gamer you are. See, I quite enjoy, it's going to sound really bad, I quite enjoy the solitude of not having to deal with other people when I'm gaming, so I quite like being able to like really sink my teeth into something that's just for me, if that makes sense. So I like to be able to just like fully jump into like something like The Witcher, for example. You know, you could quite happily sink hours of your time into that, and it's just a bit of a kind of a bit of escapism, really. Whereas so like World of Warcraft's kind of a hybrid, I think, of both elements of that. So it is obviously a very story-based game, but you've got the social aspect kind of integrated with it, and even to a certain extent, you have to do certain parts of it in multiplayer or in guilds or whatever to try and progress through the story. So there's that side of it as well, where you're kind of forced into, you know, gaming with others to progress your story, and that can be complicated depending on what type of gamer you are. So like when you have to jump into raids with like 20 strangers, and I'm just like, oh god, all right, okay, you know, and then that's when it depends who you're gaming with as well. If you're with kind of a multiplayer, if you're with friends or you're with people that you know, then it's slightly different, I suppose, than like something like where you jump into Raid Finder or whatever. But in terms of like, you know, being able to just switch a game on and switch your life off for a bit, I think sort of single-player story-based games are really good for giving people that little bit of escapism. So it depends on what type of gamer you are and what you are going to get from it.
Yeah. Also, kind of like I think you're alluding as well to sort of what your mentality is.
Yeah.
Like obviously, people use gaming for lots and lots of different reasons, and if you're the kind of gamer who who likes to use gaming as a bit of a way to like I say, escape into the world and what have you, you are going to get yourself lost in a single player story and be someone who you're not in the real world kind of thing. And that's great, because I love the fact that is an element of gaming, and that is a fantastic part of gaming. Whereas if you're more of a social person like Jason is, he's always wanting to play with people and get involved and stuff like that. It's not all double entendres.
Usually it's venting. It's always venting, to be honest. Yeah. You must get fed up me every time I join a party. You just hear me just go beep 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 all the way down there as we shoot everybody.
Let me see from Jason. He literally sent me a message yesterday saying so ...
I know.
It's great. That was a great one. And yeah.
That's because I messaged you in Discord first.
Well, yeah. So let's catch up on a bit of chat. So Brian, apparently Zen has finished 90 games. Fair enough. I finished Sonic 1, the Hedgehog. That's pretty good. Brian has said he agrees some short games have merit in their story. For example, Limbo or Inside. Great games, but about 3 hours long. A good length for a single-player game would be between 20 to 30 hours, in his opinion. Spider-Man was just right for its story. The Uncharted games were spot on, which is great. Bada Bada Boomer said comes down to time as well, which is what you alluded to, Jace. If you primarily play multiplayer, you're more likely to choose that. Zen rarely plays multiplayer. Nathan then says if he plays a single-player story game, he wants to do it completely solitary. Don't want to be interrupted. Now we know what he's doing when he's not coming online and ignoring my text messages. Brian has said it's a positive mental effect either way, which is absolutely true. It it is regardless of how you use, especially at this moment. I think one of my other podcasts, I had my Jerry Springer's final thought moment, and it's all about positive mental attitude. You can think that the times are shit with everything going on in the world, and quite frankly, they are. But that's where gaming helps. Like the Thumb Culture Discord is booming. There's lots of people in there that are available to play games, and it's great. And obviously, you've got the lovely people on your screen, and Jason.
Every time, seriously.
Yeah. Me and Jason have got a special kind of relationship. Yeah, special kind. Dance for me, monkey boy.
Lauren and Hardy.
Yeah. Chuckle Brothers. But yeah, in terms of length, though, I mean, if you had to put an hour number on an ideal length of game, you've got to have an open mind. Open mind.
Yeah, I don't get this because this is like, I don't know, maybe it's me, but this is so just not the way I play games. Like, I don't, it's just, I don't know, like, when I see people saying, like, a certain amount of time, like a 20-hour or 30-hour, like, is that all in one stretch? Like, are you counting? Like, why are you counting? Like, I'm just like, if I'm enjoying it, I'm enjoying it. I never sit to myself and think, God, I've just cracked out like 60 hours on that. Check me out. Like, that would never go into my mind. It's just like, if I'm enjoying it, I'm enjoying it. So I don't know, like it's a bit weird to me. Sometimes when I'll be writing stuff up and it'll be like, how long was your play time? And I'm thinking, I don't bloody know. I just enjoyed it. I had a go. And I played it as much as I enjoyed it. And, you know, like if I was to sit and actually add up the amount of time that would be like a good, I couldn't quantify it, because it's like saying how long's a piece of string. Like you either, you know, you get out of it what you get out of it, and I think that's what matters at the end of the day. Like, I wouldn't give myself any kind of pats on. In fact, it'd probably be the opposite for me. If I thought, oh, you know, I've racked up like 10 years playing World of Warcraft, I'd be like, Jesus, I need a life. Do you know what I mean? But it just depends, I think, doesn't it?
There's no right answer, is there? It's personal preference. That's
exactly it. Yeah. There is no right answer. Like, I think, and going back to Cyberpunk, because it's the big game that everyone's talking about right now, I'm pretty sure that I read something that one of the devs or one of the team at CD Projekt Red, they'd been playing it for something like 187 hours, and they'd sort of barely scratched the surface. But if that's 187 hours of you being totally engrossed in the story and exploring the city from different viewpoints, you know, that's great. I mean, you look on your stats on like Call of Duty and like you've played it for like 12 days and stuff like that, and you think to yourself, oof, 12 days, you know, it's a long time.
Isn't it like, presumably that's not all in one stretch, because that would be crazy. But I bet there are some people
I played it for 12 days straight. Yeah.
But I mean, I think there are some people who will literally sit for 12 hours at a time, and that boggles my mind. But I mean, you know, I guess it's just
kids.
Jealousy.
Yeah. You know, I remember times when I used to be able to sit there and play games for that long. I mean, I can't really say anything. I did a 24-hour marathon not so long ago, but that was different reasons. But yeah, I
sit
think
there for about 6 hours sometimes on a Saturday, but that's just weekend league on FIFA. You know, and that's, you know, if I get a chance to after the football.
Weekend league on FIFA. Why do it to yourself?
Mention the F word around here.
Yeah. FIFA.
So I can't speak to anybody when I'm playing Ultimate Team on FIFA. Can't talk to anybody on them.
You need to get back on pro clubs. When
no
the new
one's ever
update
on
drops,
anymore.
We're always on.
Oh, just don't invite me then.
Yeah,
don't
pretty
invite
much.
me.
Yes, hiding from Jason.
Yeah, my FIFA days are behind me, I think.
Yeah. Right, we have had a few messages in the chat. Original Sarcasmo Man, Kev, has said, if you like the game, you up the difficulty and try it again if you complete it. I'm not that kind of gamer, if I'm honest.
I don't revisit.
I have a confession. If I'm playing a story game, I put it on the easiest game mode because I like to enjoy the story.
No, I'll go normal.
Well, I suppose something's got to be normal in your life.
Yeah, true. I'm not going to refute that one.
No, I like to enjoy the story.
I start a medium, and then if depending on how
It was about to say,
immersive
and
the
then
story
drop
is.
it.
And then I probably do drop it more than a high rate, if I'm honest with you.
I always think normal is like playing it as they designed it to be, kind of standard. This is where they see it to be sort of a cross between challenging and a story. So
yeah, but if I'm playing, I go for the easy mode because I like to experience the story without being held back.
Yes, that's it.
You know, because there's always going to be certain levels where you get stuck and you end up getting frustrated with the game and you stop playing it, which is probably why, Jace, you stopped playing Red Dead Redemption.
Exactly.
no, I didn't get stuck because it was difficult. I got stuck because too many things happened and I didn't have enough time to actually sit there and go, right, no one's going to interrupt me for an hour.
Do you know what game that happened to me on? That happened to me on Plague Tale Innocence, and it was like really near the beginning where she has like a slingshot and she has to like try and kill this guy with a slingshot, and I could not do it, and it was really pissing me off because I don't think there was like a difficulty setting on that game. It was just play it as is, and I couldn't get past that bit, and I was gutted because I really wanted to play it through because I'd read that it was an amazing story and it was a really, really good game experience, and so in the end I ended up just putting it down, and I've never played it since because that particular bit I just could not do, and it was like, Argh! And the frustration just stopped me wanting to play it anymore, which is such a shame because I know that is meant to be like a really good narratively designed game, and I was like, really keen to play it.
Yep. Ironically made by the same people that make Flight Sim as well.
Oh really? Oh wow.
You know, diversity in its best. Let's have a look. So Brian said, I'm not a fan of replaying games. I like my trophies, so I'll try on the hardest difficulty first and then have the game taunt me by offering to lower the difficulty. Yeah, it's when the game goes, come here, son, come on. Look, you're struggling a little bit here, all right? How about, right, we drop it down a bit. We won't tell anyone. We'll just drop that difficulty down a little bit. All right, it's just so you can get past this bit, and then you can raise the difficulty again. But you never raise the difficulty.
No, makes you play harder. I like it.
Yeah. Zen has said chapter size is difficulty. Now that's great if you're a streamer and you stream a lot of story-based games. I purposefully don't choose when I did stream. I purposely chose not to play story-driven games because I think that people are more likely maybe not to come and watch you if they're interested in the story because they don't want spoilers. Things like that. It's hard
for you to concentrate as well when you're trying to play a story-based game and you've got people chatting and you feel very aware of keeping them kind of, you have to like engage with that.
You've got to always be hyped.
You can't, well, I wouldn't go that far, but you can't like engage with your chat and really be engrossed in a game at the same time. I find that difficult.
No, yeah, I agree with that. Mike Scott Ladders put, it really depends on the game. He must have played maybe 400 hours on Skyrim, but finished Firewatch in 3 or 4, and equally happy with both experiences. And I think that's it. I think the crux of the length of game is it depends on the game, it depends on the gamer, and it depends. It depends. Well, how to do this? It all depends. It all depends on what you want to get out of gaming as well. Which is it's one of those. I always like to try and give people an answer when they come and watch and listen. If you're listening on Spotify or any of those, you always want to have an answer to the question that we're posing. But this one has so many variables. I mean, you've got 4 gamers on your screen or in your ears that both all game from different points of view, all have different interests in games, and there's just too many games out there. I mean, Jason is always on Call of Duty. Majority of the time.
Sure. Massive variation as well in the type of sort of even with your story-based games, you've got you've got your ones like Skyrim and all the rest of it. You've got your long sort of massive stories, but then you've got equally like I played one last year about what becomes of Edith Finch or something like that. I can't remember, I think that's what it's called. And that is really quite short, but the storytelling in it, like it hooked me in so much. Like it was such a good game. And so length, it's relative, isn't it? Really, it's relative to the experience. So like the fact that like even if it's a fairly short game, if it's memorable enough and the storytelling's good enough, then you will go back to it and you will want to complete it and everything.
Yeah.
So there's just such variation in the type of game that really length kind of becomes a redundant concept. It's whether or not you're enjoying it, and if you're enjoying it, you're going to play it for however long it's got on its life, really, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Like Firewatch. I don't know if everyone's played Firewatch that's been talked about in the chat. If you can get Firewatch and give that a play, it's absolutely brilliant. In the same way of Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Brilliant game. Essentially, it's a walking simulator, but it's the story that's overrunning and everything and intermingled inside everything. All short experiences as well, but I think the crux is if you finish a game and you want more, then that's probably the right length of game for you at that time. You don't ever want to finish a game thinking, well, that was a bit of a grind.
Yeah, thank God that's over. Don't have to play that again.
Yeah.
I can finally write this review.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's it. And you should never. Gaming should be fun. In theory, regardless of what you're playing, who you're playing with, and the length of playtime and stuff like that. It should just be fun. It should be a heartwarming experience for young and old to enjoy. Come on, Jason. What? Yeah.
Nothing. You're going for your little Springer moment. I was waiting for the halo and the lights and everything to go off on your
forget
screen.
that I can see you?
I know. Shit.
I mean, I could just at this point, I could just change the camera and just camera zoom in on me. But then that wouldn't be fair to the other two.
Yeah, you have to do it slowly, and you have to sit on the stool as well.
Yeah, just do that. You bell end.
Yes, smash.
But GTA heartwarming.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. I mean, you're always.
Depends which way you look at the story, I suppose.
Yeah, you've always got a bit of attachment to Trevor, haven't you?
That's my idol.
Yeah.
I run around in my pants all the time down here.
And your pink tutu.
That's why we're in tier 3 tomorrow.
Oh God, don't talk to me about tears. But yeah. So Zen has put Valiant Hearts Game of the Year 2014 for me. Amazing story and great length. 2014, I can barely remember last week.
I was about to say, I didn't know what happened yesterday.
I mean, Jason is obviously he's over the hill. He's on the downslope.
Right, back me up here.
No. Don't bring your helpers or your carers. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting the way that there's so much hype with the games that generally take longer to think. And I think gamers always put a monetary value on game length. So like people complain about Call of Duty effectively charging 50 quid, whatever it is, for what is effectively an 8-hour campaign, but forget about the abundance of people that won't touch the campaign but will play zombies, will play multiplayer for days on end, will play Warzone for days on end. And then on the other hand of the side of it, you get people that are like, The Witcher, hours and hours of gameplay, it's perfect value for money and stuff like this. And it's like, well,
I haven't thought about it like that. I've never really equated a monetary value to the value of what you get out of the actual game. I've never. But then, well, I don't know. I mean, I think the only one that I would kind of put that equation to would be World of Warcraft, because obviously that's an ongoing subscription. But I think that's one of the things with Game Pass. It's almost like with Game Pass, you forget that you're paying for it on a monthly basis because you've just got such a massive sort of catalogue of games that you can jump into that would retail at 40 quid each or whatever. And you are getting such good bang for your buck there that it just never really enters my mind to kind of equate monetary value with how much enjoyment I'm getting out of the longevity. It just, the two don't really, they don't make sense. I mean, there's the odd time where I think, am I getting my money's worth out of WoW? But that's more because am I actually having enough time to play it? rather
Yeah.
than is the game itself worth playing. It's not that kind of thing, really. I guess you kind of get out what you put in, but if you've just paid for it up front, then it's just looking at what the game can offer you, I suppose, as an ongoing experience, really.
Jason's deep in thought there.
I was taking it all in and reflecting in my own little way. Yeah. See, I've got other games like Horizon Zero Dawn, which everyone says is fantastic. I've tried to play it twice, and probably just because I've tried to play it at a wrong point in my life, I've not had the time to actually sit there and be sort of sucked into the game with nothing else going on, that I can go, right, I'm going to get into this character, because the bits I've played I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
But I don't think. Yeah. So in a way, kind of playing the games like the Call of Duty, you at least know that if something happens, oh well, I'll turn it off now. I don't care. It was only an online match. I've lost nothing. It doesn't matter. I haven't got to get to the next save or the next checkpoint before I can put it all down and help you with the baby that's just thrown up or the next incident or something that's happened somewhere. But yeah, there's something for everyone there, isn't there? Whatever they're going through right now, that's the game for you. You've just got to find the right one.
Yeah.
God, bloody hell, that's a bit profound for me. Shit.
I was going to say, do you need to sit down
Golly.
or lie down? Do you need to have a lie down?
I think I do, yeah. I almost stole your little Springer moment then.
Ah, that's fine. It's fine. You can have this one. It's let's check up on chat as we're coming to the close. So Nathan said, so many games now have short campaigns only to add more missions via DLC. Need for Speed got slated for this. Yep. Brian has said The Witcher Game of the Year can be picked up for £15 new. Well worth it, yeah. Great games leave lasting memories by Zen, which is true.
Yeah.
COD is like your game away from your main game.
Yes. No, I go with that.
Yeah, because you can jump on COD when you're getting annoyed at a certain part in your game that you're playing. Play a couple of games and then go back to it,
Yeah. What's that? Lower the difficulty. Out comes the rocket launcher.
Yeah, exactly. And Mike has put, it's a weird point of view. You wouldn't complain about going to the cinema and a 90-minute film and a 2-hour film costing the same.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Which is true. And apparently COD annoys Nathan.
I've never played COD. I don't know. I would like to play it just for a laugh, just to see what it's like. But it's all like, it's first person, isn't it? So I'd probably end up like playing for 10 minutes and then going to vomit somewhere and then coming back.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of head bob.
Yeah.
Whoever he is. But yeah.
Brian has said, wouldn't catch me at the cinema at those prices anyway. Well, it's only $4.99 at the View, if the View is still open.
I'll just close down now.
Wah, wah, wah.
Too many people. I think I'm learning I'm a bit of a loner here.
Nah, you're fine. You're fine. You've got us. You're never alone when you've got a thumb culture.
That's true.
But so closing thoughts on length. I think we've established that length is good. However, quality over length is the key.
Yeah, and it's got to suit what you're up to in that moment in time.
Yeah. Way to bring it away from the double entendres there, Jay. Spot on. The left side of your screen was going down the route, and the right side of the screen was just being innocent. And
he's the voice of reason tonight. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm slightly concerned.
This is not normal.
Yeah.
I'm just behaving myself.
I'm not the voice of reason here.
I think it's that corner. I think that's what it is. It's that corner of the screen.
Must be.
Oh, I don't know. But, so unless anyone else has got anything else to comment about length. Jace, any thoughts on, any thoughts at all?
Maybe with a nugget of information. I'm itching to hear it.
You're a wise man of the world. You're like the Gandalf on the screen.
Play what you want to play, enjoy what you want to enjoy. There you go.
Oh,
that's a good one.
Look at that. Yeah, that's such a cop-out. You see now, you got that on a cat poster.
Yeah, hold on to a branch. Yeah.
Gonna make that into a wallpaper. All download.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't know. I saw it on this like website, Pretty Insulting, I think it was.
You wouldn't have seen something as nice on there.
No, it's something about curling tongs I saw earlier. I'm not going to even go there. Yeah, I did see that. I liked it.
I feel I may have to go and look at that because I feel that might be slightly rude.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I did bring it up.
Is it similar to do with the cheese grater?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Aaron's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
no clue.
Our seems to have like uses for every utensil in the house. I'm quite scared. You just would not be safe around there.
It's when she starts going on about the garlic press.
Oh, that's a good one. Good one.
TM.
I'll use that.
Trademark.
Just in a garlic press, that'll work.
Ouch. Maybe. But no, anyway. Anyway. Thank you, everybody who's listening to this and the Spotify world. If you're listening to it on iTunes, Google Podcast, Amazon Music Podcast, everything. I think we are pretty much everywhere. Find us out on social media. We are Thumb Culture, Thumb_Culture over on Twitter, Thumb Culture on Facebook, Thumb Culture V2 on YouTube, Thumb_Culture on Instagram, Thumb_Culture on Pinterest, or just come to the website at www.thumbculture.co.uk or OnlyFans/Thumb_Culture, where it's just pictures of kids.
Thumbs, naked thumbs.
Yeah, just thumbs like that.
I'll do one with a little beard on it and go, there, I'm Stu.
Just a little finger. Yeah. Just
You're not TMing it, I'm TMing it. This is. There you go. You need a headset. Put a headset on.
Look at that. That's awesome.
Everyone on Spotify will be like, "What the hell's going on?"
Yeah. For the people
Is the podcast finished yet, or what? No, Stu is drawing on his thumb a little representation of his face, but he seems to have no teeth. He's just got a black mouth. This is him in the next 10 years when he's really old and his teeth will fall out.
He's now got that on my thumb. How am I going to explain that? I did it in Sharpie as well, not my finest moment.
Exactly.
But anyway,
doing it on the back of his hand.
Hey, what?
You've been doing it on the back of your hand.
Oh, on this one?
And 3, 2, 1, you're back in the room.
That one. Yeah.
Cupboardy.
It hurt. It hurt.
But I feel like I should be paying to see that. I mean, you can throw some money my way, Nathan. So. I mean, I don't know where we're up to, but Anyway, it's been emotional. It's been interesting. It's been a pleasure to grace your screens again for another week. I wish I knew what number this was, but the Welsh stew looks after what number it is. But I'm pretty sure we might be up to 30.
Wow. This is the best one, clearly.
Obviously. I mean, we're talking about length. I mean, what's better than that? Yeah. Jason's going to look now.
Yeah, this is 30.
This is number 30. Well,
this will be 30, yeah.
There we go. Enjoy 30. I won't be here next week, unfortunately. I am working nights all next week. But I know. I quite like nights.
No excuses though, really, is there?
Well, there is, because I'm working nights.
Yeah, but your idea of working, I phone you up and you're like at McDonald's. Obviously, if anyone's listening from trained people or whatever.
Trained people.
Yeah, was it Sodor, isn't it, up there? I can't remember.
Oh, I'm not the fat controller. Anyway,
you're gonna play us out. They're 2, they're 4, they're 6, they're 8.
Yeah, they're 2, they're 4, they're 6, they're 8. Oh dear.
Sorry, I ruined the ending for you.
Yeah, you did. Anyway, it's been emotional. Take care, and we'll see you next time.
Bye bye.